What's up again, horse racing fans? Welcome to a Kentucky Derby prep video for the Inside Post. This weekend, Saturday, March 22nd, we have yet another Derby prep in the Louisiana Derby. We go down to Fairgrounds Park from Turfway Park to run on this 1 mile and 3/16 dirt Kentucky Derby prep for $1 million and Kentucky Derby points. We have 10 horses in here that are buying for a spot in the gate at the Kentucky Derby on the first Saturday in May. We'll go through the field, give you our best bet, next up contender, and a long shot play for the Louisiana Derby. Let's get into the field. Number 1, John Hancock. Haven't seen the horse since the Sam F. Davis winner in there, breaking his maiden at the $36,000 level. Possibly one of Brad Cox's better horses for the 3-year-olds in here. Son by Constitution, owned by Windstar Farms. Flavion Pratt will get them out yet again. Looks pretty phenomenal on the workout side of things. Definitely one that looks really good with some early speed implications in here. And we've seen a lot of horses on the lead do some damage in these early Kentucky Derby preps. This one's currently 7-2, so pretty good value right now on this one at 7-2. We could possibly see maybe 2-1 in here, or even 3-1 if we get lucky. But definitely going to be one that's going to be bet pretty good compared to the 9 other contenders that this horse is running against. So one that has wired the field in each of his starts so far. Like I said, the Sam F. Davis beating out Owen Almighty, who won the Tampa Bay Derby, and Poster, who is entered at Turfway Park for the Jeff Ruby Stakes. So we'll see if he's able to run back big. Basically making his third start in his career, third start in 2025 as well. One that's kind of been a lot of a buzz since breaking his maiden at Tampa, and then obviously followed it up in the Sam F. Davis. Number 2, Chunk of Gold. Interesting to see this horse come down in Louisiana, but I guess staying with the Risen Star, ran second in there behind Magnitude. Obviously thought that this one could run back pretty big. Expected to see the horse in the Jeff Rubies, but love it in this spot as well at 8-1 for Ethan West with Jared Loveberry aboard in here. Another big old gray horse. This one's by Preservationist. $2,500. Pretty cheap ticket in here to get yourself a Derby horse. What a find by the connections in here. Like I said, comes out of that Risen Star behind Magnitude. And then Leonidas ran second to Baby Max. We'll see what Baby Max is able to do in the Jeff Rubies. But this horse, really good speed figure in the Risen Star with a 92. Beat out Built. One that can sit close to the pace if needed, and one that can kind of come from off the pace. I think it's going to have some speed to run into. There's just some really good horses in here. And I would love to see this horse make the gate for the Derby. Definitely is going to need to finish second or third, or even steal the win in here to probably get into the gate. But this horse, gotta love the story of a $2,500 purchase and being able to run for Kentucky Derby contention. 3, Tistastic. This is the Steve Asmussen horse. Joel Rosario gets the leg up for the first time on this one. Just not much that we've seen out of Tistastic since that juvenile mile on the turf at Kentucky Downs. Has ran at Churchill and Oaklawn Park. The Street Sense, the Jockey Club, the Southwest, and the Rebel. This horse is definitely trending in the other direction compared to what it was doing. In the Street Sense, finished second. The Jockey Club finishing third. Southwest was third. And then in the Rebel, a big disappointing 5th. So not sure where to go with this one. Looks to kind of be trying to find its place right now. Looks like they're just trying to maybe put together some Derby prep points. But I feel like this one's going to be a long shot in here just because the form seems to be going the other direction compared to some of the other 3-year-olds whose form seems to be getting a lot better. I mean, the horse has almost earned $1 million out of 7 races. The career best 89 speed figure came in at Southwest. It's just the horses ran against really better horses on the day. It's going to have to run against John Hancock yet again, and I think he's probably going to get the better of Tistastic in here. The horses ran against Coal Battle, Speed King, First Resort, Sovereignty, Tantrum McPatrick. I mean, the horses ran against horses that are obviously going to be checkmarked for the Derby. It's in a tough field in here yet again. Number 4, Yenzer, another Asmussen horse. This one gets Ben Curtis aboard. Another early sneaky speed horse in here, but does come out of breaking its maiden at the 55 level. Comes into stakes action for the first time. But kind of gotta like the early speed on this horse. We're getting 12-1 right now, rightfully so. Kind of like the owner side of this, West Point Thoroughbreds by Twirling Candy. Big $1 million purchase in here. So surprised we didn't see this horse sooner. It just struggled in maiden races. Went right out and ran 3 mile and 16ths. So we're going to try the mile and 3/8 here to see if maybe a little bit extra distance is what this horse prefers. Caldera, another Dwayne Lucas horse. He's got one in the Jeff Ruby Stakes as well. This one will get Tyler Gaffleone aboard. Another early speed type runner in here. This horse looked really good in the Sunland Derby, finishing second behind Getaway Car. Almost was able to run down Getaway Car there. I don't know if it was by a nose. I mean, it was super, super close of what this horse was able to do. So I think this one's going to run back pretty big yet again. Another quick turnaround like some of the Dwayne Lucas horses usually do. He trains them for it. He's probably one of the best ones at the quick turnaround. So definitely like this one, this gray horse by Liam's Map for Dwayne Lucas at 5-1. 6, we have Built, Wayne Catalano, Jose Ortiz. We'll get the nod on here. Comes out of that Risen as well, finishing third behind Magnitude and Chunk of Gold. The distance will be the question. The notes say that the horse kind of tired out in the Risen Star, and they only went 1 mile and 8, so we're going a little bit further. So we'll see if we're able to get the distance in here for Built. Well, LeCompte finishing second, the Gun Runner. Winner in there, Jared Loveberry is usually the one on this horse. He's obviously taken his stuff elsewhere. Luis Saez was on it in the Risen. Here we get another mix-up with Jose Ortiz. The workout looks phenomenal on that March 14th down in Fairgrounds. 5 furlongs and 1 minute and 2, or 1 minute and basically some change. Third fastest out of 31 horses that day, so it looks really good. We'll get blinkers on for the first time. So definitely could be a change up here. Does have some early speed to be played with, like what we've seen in some of the Derby preps. Early speed can be very, very dangerous. 7, Vassimo, Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz. Lightly raced horse. Another one comes out of the Risen, but making only its 4th start. This is by Nyquist in here, by Team Penny Racing. We haven't seen very many Todd Pletcher horses really wow us. I think there's maybe one that could go to the Florida Derby that looks pretty phenomenal. So we'll see if this one can back it up. Was kind of a middle horse in the Risen. Didn't really get a whole lot of buzz, but the horse is improving. 73, 81, 89 speed figures. Each time the horse kind of takes a good step forward. In the Risen, you could say it just ran into seasoned horses that day. We will get blinkers on for the first time to see if that can help Irad Ortiz kind of steer this horse a little bit better. We'll go further for the first time as well, just a little bit further. Nothing crazy. But I think this one will run big as well. 12-1 currently on the morning line. And we get Pletcher and Irad Ortiz at 12-1. There's definitely some value in this horse. 8, Ferio, Joe Sharp, Luis Saez. One that's making its first start in graded stakes races. Winner last time out, an optional claimer of non-winners of 1. Finished second in there behind Instant Replay, who's just to the outside of this one. Nice 84 speed figure. The numbers kind of look pretty comparable. We'll go distance for the second time. So we'll see if that kind of plays into things here of going route. Second time on the route distance to see if we can get a play in here at 12-1. Number 9, the horse that beat him, Instant Replay, Brad Cox. Here's another one with Florent Giroux. Comes out of another optional claiming the non-winners of 1. Beat out the Furio. Ran a good 92 speed figure in there. Another one that looks really good on the form side of things. Not sure what happened in the previous optional claiming race. Ran into Sandman that day, I guess you could say. And was able, or not able, to run them down. Looks to be one that's going to go early, even though in that last race the horse did it really well coming from off the pace. So maybe we see that kind of change up in here for Florent Giroux. Looks like the horse, if it doesn't get the lead, definitely has some late speed to be played with in here and could be dangerous running late for sure. And on the finale, number 10, Hypnosis, Kenny McPeak has another one. He has one at Jeff Ruby's and in the Louisiana Derby. Brian Hernandez will get them out. Just making his third start in 2025, third start in the career for Hypnosis by Into Mischief. This is owned by Brookdale Racing. Seventh in the Rebel, very disappointing in there, coming off of an 80 speed figure. Looked really good in its maiden though, $60,000 levels. Finished first in there ahead of Cromwell. Ran a really good 85 speed figure in there and just cleared the field easily. And then again, probably ran into some seasoned horses in the Rebel. So we'll see if this one's able to run back pretty big here at a decent price, 10-1 of one that's kind of nominated for some Triple Crown races. Could be very interesting on the far outside with a little bit of late contingent type speed or pace to play into. So obviously you want the picks, you want the top pick, and that's going to be John Hancock. Just a phenomenal looking horse right now. Like how they waited till January to really get this horse started. Has some huge speed figures on the front end that can be dangerous going early, setting the pace, dictating the pace of this race. And I think is going to be the one to catch for sure. 7-2, that's pretty good value right now on a horse that's been unbeaten and that comes in with a lot of buzz, and the pedigree just sticks out at you really well. So our next up contender is probably going to be Built. Love the way this horse is training right now. It comes out of the Gun Runner, winning in there, and then it kind of runs into some trouble in the Lecomte, but finished second. Disco Time was just the better horse that day. And then the Risen Star, Magnitude was phenomenal. I don't think any horse would have beat Magnitude that day. The horse just got tired. So hopefully the way the horse has been training is preparing this horse for going a mile and 3/8. Hopefully Catalano's kind of has things figured out of we can't let this horse get tired. Maybe we're going to change some things up on the pace side of things. But this is one that's going to be able to go early, I think, with John Hancock and not let him dictate too fast of a fractions and kind of, set an honest pace out front to be able to maybe run 1 and 2 with John Hancock down the stretch. I love that the horse gets the blinkers on as well and could be a sneaky pick at 4-1. Long shot play. I think the value is possibly going to be on Vasimo. Lighter start horse, does get blinkers on. Should have some speed that can be dangerous again on the front end. I like the Irad Ortiz sticks on this horse. Todd Pletcher, the connections alone look really good. The Nyquist pedigree with Uncle Mo looks phenomenal. Like, this horse should be a really good runner. I just don't know if the horse is ready, if it's well seasoned as a 3-year-old. But at 12-1, this is definitely worth taking a shot at. Again, with the connections of Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz. And the other one, this was just a hard runner. Caldera, 5-1. Dwayne Lucas, Tyler Gaffleone. I mean, just barely beat out by Getaway Car in that Sunland Derby. I think this one runs back huge again. And another one that's going to be, trying to get out to the lead early. But I think Caldera changes it up, switches it up, and sits mid-pack in this type of race and doesn't really need the lead because that's where he's been a little bit better or been able to run it down. And I think some of the speed to his outside and inside is going to get the best of him early. I think he'll make a big run late. And again, just a hard runner and a horse that's going to be a grinder down the stretch. So there's our picks for the Grade 2 Louisiana Derby at Fairgrounds for Saturday, March 22nd. Make sure to leave a comment, your play for the Louisiana Derby. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and good luck betting.